Shall I go here?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So thank you very much. Just looking, Anvi been very nice, she Putani, and to have her here. And we have also Israr Khan, who came with me. It was absolutely pleasure to be in Oxford areas. I have two experience of coming to Oxford. One was when I was a little nervous person. So I got a job when I was 25, 26 and came to London, hardly speak any English. So my employer asked him to take out his Jaguar car and bring it to Oxford Street. And I said, yes, I will do it. I took the car out and keep driving. Looking for Oxford sign, I find that I've come to the highway, and I keep following. I thought I made some mistake. So at that time, cell phone was not there, so I stopped and made the telephone booth and call and ask him. And he says, I told you Oxford Street not to go to Oxford. So that was my first experience of Oxford. The second experience I had, which is when I was very ambitious all the time. If I see something, my eyes will glitter and I want to achieve. Anything I see, I always want to possess, achieve those things. So I wanted to build a company like BHP, and that was my whole dream. I went to BHP chairman, Brian Gilbertson, and I says, I have a good business in India, 1.4 billion people in India. Would you like to be my CEO? Whatever you want, I want you to be with me, introduce me in London, and I can raise my money. And he looked at me, who you are? And I says, look, I'm serious. I'll do everything for you, but please accept it. I don't know how. By the way, he said, I'm going tomorrow cycling Oxford. Will you come with me? I know I never exercised in my life and hardly did the cycling, and I took the bicycle and I said, I'm going. And I cycled that day 60 miles. I did it, and that was my great experience of Oxford. So it's a very interesting, very, very interesting. I remember Heathrow is the airport. Just coming out, I told my wife in India, we need to go to London. People are not recognizing me here. I have a very good business. I want to raise money. I want to list my company. It is a great future of this company. And she says, you got mad. You are very well placed. We come from the village. We come to Bombay. We are very good position. Why you want to go? But finally, she always been supportive of me. So we came to London. I still remember coming out of the Heathrow airport with 2 children, me and my wife. Didn't know anybody around here. Check-in into the hotel. Hilton Hotel took the 2 room, one for children, one for myself. I look at the service office, and I wanted service office which looked like my office. So all other service people should look like my office, and took the office and started working. What an amazing journey. I acquired small mine, I worked for somebody, I acquired small company. I did everything is possible. It was an amazing, amazing journey. So this is what I am today. I come from this small village of Bihar, which is a probably poorest state in India. And my mother, I really grateful to her. I always say one thing is very important, that have a blessing. We come from that background. Blessing of the parents are very important. My mother used to get £4 a month and 4 children, and the love and affection what she has given me at that £4 and raise us, it is uncomparable. So very, very, very pleased that she raised us. And then I remember how I came to Bombay when I was just 19, didn't speak a word of English, just yes and no, and with one bedding, one steel box and a tiffin came to Bombay and start my journey there for 15 years and enjoy every moment of it. So I came to London, listed my company. It was the largest listing of UK London Stock Exchange. I looked at Canada, I looked at New York, but the way UK government and London Stock Exchange pitch, I was convinced that this is the place. You name the people, the elite people who was on my board, Sir David Gorbooth, the French people, the politician, the businessman, and we could, Chidambaram from Finance Minister of India, was the Finance Minister of India, Naresh Chandra, who was the ambassador of US, all were on the board, and we have raised $2 billion listing value for the company, and we acquire company in India, we acquire company in Africa, we acquire company in Australia, and it was one after other. It was not easy. So I can keep on talking about my story. I'm very pleased that I'm here in the Harvard, which is a place where they're given the leaders. We have come to Oxford, where they've given the all the leader. Today, world is all about the leader and the kind of leader Oxford has given, whether it is in India, whether it is in UK, whether it is in Pakistan, US, any Australia, anywhere you talk about, is a leadership what has changed, and this is what I compliment. I always had a dream to come to study in Oxford, but couldn't come for a study, but I have come to visit, and that's my achievement here today, and very accomplishment I feel today. So they've given the scientists, they've given the best of sports people. You name the people, they're here. So very pleased that I'm among you people. And for me, nothing will be more important. The world has completely changed. This is the time of economics. This is the time where things are changing so rapidly, where everybody wants that world to be a better place. When we leave this planet, we have to leave something behind for the future generation. And this is the time where people like you, the young people like you of Oxford, to show the way, show the path where leader goes, thing goes, how we can balance ourselves, where we can develop economically. At the same time, we are very focused that we follow the environment, we follow, very important, the human, to have the relationship. World is one. That is very, very important. The world is one. We have in India, we say, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the world is one. We all are together. So it is very important today's time. Today, the kind of digital development, anything you talk about is happening, which you people are doing, innovation, which is happening. Definitely, I have no doubt that we can make this earth as a peaceful place where we all can live in harmony, and this all require a leader. When leader means lead, and when the leader lead, people follow. So I'm very pleased that I'm here. As far as my business is concerned, I'm very focused. I'll drink some water. I started as a scrap merchant and always thought I should produce aluminum, copper, because India, 1.4 billion people. India has, if you look at, India is a part of South Africa and the Australia. When the volcano erupted, it parted. It has the same soil what you have in Africa, what you have in Australia. So we have all the mineral which is available, which is required. You will not believe, today 73% of our revenue in India with the 1.4 billion people, which goes into the import of oil and gas, copper, zinc, aluminum, anything below the ground. Above the ground, we are self-sufficient. We used to import above the ground. And I have no doubt we can double our production above the ground, and which will today is an important need for other countries so we can export. Our government is very pro-economic development. The way reform and opportunity is coming to India, especially to the women, and very focused to develop the children. I have no doubt. I always have a vision that why India is not part of G7, why our India does not have a seat in the UN as a permanent seat, and why my rupee is not convertible. It is something very, very important. India subcontinent, if you look at, we are very humble people. We are very humble people. We never attack in our, if you look at the history anywhere, we always remain peaceful. And it is a time where recognition has happened. Most of the leader, they prefer that Indian should be a leader. Most of the technology company, I have no doubt we can create a Silicon Valley in India where get a lot of opportunity. Tourism is another very, very important area where everybody wants to go. 10,000 year history where we can go. We have arts, crafts, everything is there. So for me it's very important that technology side, we have import, we are in the business of natural resource, we are in the business of technology, we produce home to the fiber. Fiber is very, very important to connect. We are in a one of the largest software company, system integration. We supply the complete backup to the operator for telecom company, them to operate. We are looking, glass is very important factor, technology, because everything, whether you talk about cell phone, whether you talk about laptop, TV, anything you talk about is all about the glass. And India import $17 billion of glass. So it has all the ingredient, and we should have that. Semiconductor, there is a crisis of semiconductor. There is a famine for the semiconductor. We have all the raw material. We produce the largest engineers. We produce the largest doctors. So semiconductor production is very important. And we have tie-up with the Foxconn, which is a $200 billion company. We have our own company, Japanese company, where we produce glass. So very excited, very, very excited. Vedanta is going to be, we started 25 years back, my total revenue was $1 million. And I'm very pleased. Today my revenue is $30 billion. And I have 100,000 people, hardly any union. Everybody feel that this is their company. And most important thing is I have 33% women professional working for us. And I'm really encouraged the way women will make this world better. I think this will be unparalleled. So please encourage more and more women. They need some time to think. They are not like men immediately jump into anything. They need a space. They are different. And I have experienced that if you work with them, if you give them shoulder to shoulder. The idea which they have, they think different. They will be ahead of everybody to take the world at a different place. I can keep talking, saying, I can say, but I'd love to hear from you, and if there is any question, I can answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Agarwal, for your remarks. It's been really nice to hear your journey a little bit in your own words. So if we take it all the way back, like you said, you were born in Bihar, in Patna actually, and of course you were exposed to business from a really young age because your father had his own aluminum conductor business. What do you think that taught you about business from a young age?
Say again, what do
you think that taught you about business from a young age, seeing your father's business?
I was not very good at study, and I always wanted to be in business. And whenever I used to see the newspaper, I don't understand English, but I will open the English CNN and the Bloomberg and see what they're talking, business. It was boiling in my blood. So I started working. Earlier, my father used to take me backside of his scooter. Very young age, though it was not legal at that time. At 14 years age, I started driving the scooter and make him sit in the back. So I always had that drive. always has that drive. So going to the business, working with the business, getting extra buck of the business, expanding the business was always my I used to get excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And you started by trading scrap metals as your very first business. What made you want to go into working in the sort of metal industry? Was it inspiration from your father? Was this something that you saw as very profitable at that time? Or what got you into metals in the first place?
I have no idea. I was 19 years old when I landed into Bombay, because I got the opportunity. Somebody told me, if you can come, and I stay in the Kalva Devi at Cotton Exchange at 21 rupees bed. I put my bag, steel bag box inside, and he was the scrap merchant. We used to collect scrap from the cable company and used to sell. So it was very exciting, but I never seen till the age of 19 the tall buildings, except in the movie, or the film star and the glitter and such a beautiful woman. So I never seen in my Bihar. So I got very excited being in Bombay, and the biggest drawback was I didn't know English. But you will not believe, with yes and no, I will get my work done. I'll get my work done. Half of the time people will not know that I don't know English. So I work around, I see how the nightlife, everybody's in the street. So you keep progressing, and then you find this to own a cable company, and there was an auction of a cable company, and I could got the opportunity to have this acquire this cable company without money. I can see one thing for the young people is very important. Their ambition, their determination and perseverance is more important than the money in the pocket. At today's time, you see the money people, they have a lot of money, they have a deep pocket, but short hand. So their hand does not reach to the money.
Yeah. So after you were in Bombay, you realized that instead of trading metals, you can actually go down the manufacturing route. And so that's what you ended up expanding your business into. When you were starting out at this young age, were there any key people that were advising you on your business, or did you have some big business inspirations that you looked up to at that time?
Yes, at that time, all the business people in India, I didn't know anything people outside India, but in our time we had the Birlas, we had the Tatas, we have R.P. Goenkas. Those people were there, and I used to see how they are acquiring company, how they are running the company, and I'll go which hotel they go, which restaurant they go. I used to just go behind the pillar and watch them, how they're eating, how they're putting their hand on the table, what their dress and address, how they do it. So just to copy, I always say, first thing, if you want to succeed in life, just copy. And then go from there.
Yeah, fair enough. Of course, you weren't ever formally educated in terms of going to university or higher education. How do you think that impacted you when you were initially starting out your business? You said, of course, that English was a difficult skill for you, but do you think that not being formally educated made it more difficult for you to start off in the initial days? Or do you think that in business it doesn't really matter whether you're formally educated or not?
Yeah, but no, I had just recently met Bill Gates. We spent time, and it was very interesting topic. And he said the same, that I was not very keen on the higher study. And we both had started the business same time, 75. He started the same time, and it is depend. I've seen the most successful people who are most educated. I've seen the people who are not educated, but the wise. They have their DNA. I believe that fundamentally whatever you learn till the age of 6, that remains. That is the fundamental education. Your sanskar, we call it sanskar, which live with you for your whole life. So both work. I've seen most of the people, lot of people who are not educated, been very successful. I've seen the people who are very well educated, and I really respect them.
Yeah, definitely. On the topic of sanskar and kind of values that you hold, I've heard that you're a sort of a big member of ISKCON, and that your religion and spirituality are very important to you. How have those been guiding principles in your life, and how have you stayed connected to the spiritual side despite all of the busy life that you hold?
Yeah, one of the person who inspired me, not because of the spirituality, a person of 70 years old has gone to US, and I'm not saying that he has done a wrong thing or right thing. 70 years old person, Srila Prabhupada, he went from Sumati Murarji's cargo ship, went to New York, and he landed there with some books of a spiritual book of Bhagavad Gita with 40 rupees in his pocket. And he has the conviction that the people should be vegetarian, people should not speak lie, people should not indulge into the smoking, or to behave well, to remain as a peaceful. And he has gone with that mission. And I've never seen anybody else more entrepreneur than him, that within 10 years time, 1 million people of American, they shaved their head, including the women. The women does not have to shave head. So shave the head, and they give up the eating meat, and they follow the path of peace, to be non-violence, and they started. You have to hold some handle. I always believe that when I used to be in Patna, I used to go in a bus and I used to hold the handle, because there was never got a chance to sit on the seat, because they were always crowded. So what you do, you always hold the handle, and that handle save you. So you have to hold some handle. Some people hold the handle of their parents, that they are everything. Some hold the handle of their guru. Some people hold the handle of Krishna or Khuda or Jesus. Everything is fine, but you have to, because that gives you hope, that gives you lot of strength, that somebody is there, somebody is with me, or my friend is with me. You have to hold somebody, and that's what for me. I was in very difficult time. I was going through the depression, had no money, nobody was there to understand me. I have a lot of ideas whole night, and I go and talk in the morning, and everybody says rubbish. And today's I go with a rubbish idea, and everybody says, wow. So you have to be careful when people praise you. So I find that the Krishna was one feat which I could hold, because I read the Bhagavad Gita, and I find that it's a meaningful, that how important that on your dharma you stood, and then you say, no matter what happened, I'm not going to be attached, because everybody is going to leave this planet. And after that, where you go, who knows? But here, whatever your dharma, whatever, I always take three things. One is very important, is my dedication towards the Krishna, my dedication towards my profession, and my dedication towards my responsibility of my family, because we are trustee for our family. And then whoever is the Almighty, He is watching how you handle your family. Some people run away. You cannot run away, because you are trustee of them, but at the same time you cannot be attached to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, really wise words from you. If we jump back on your career and how you eventually then were manufacturing metals and things like that, in 2001, the government announced its disinvestment program, which I'd say definitely helped you expand your business. Would you say this was pivotal in sort of the way that Vedanta came to be? And how would you define your relationship with the government at this time, and how has that fluctuated as you've expanded Vedanta?
For me, I'm not here, whatever is the government, like your wife, like your parents, government is also same. You have to take it to the same pedestal. You are not, you have to change according to what government is. The government is not going to change what you want. So we are a business people, and we very submissive way. We had the government of Congress, we had a government of BJP, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. We have a government today, very reformist, our Mr. Modi. So whichever government has come, everybody, there is no other two way except moving forward. Two things they have to make sure that happen. What I understand, two or three things. Number one, below the ground we have a phenomenal wealth, and we need to explore. All India has to go full focus, and I'm looking all the unicorn, all the startup. Today is a time of a startup. Today I'm like looking millions of startup to come up, and they can come up. Today the funding is available. People are looking to fund them to explore, and explore. And the time has changed, whereby through technology, which artificial intelligence, with geophysics, you don't have to dig out. Mother Earth and our body are by and large similar. So there was a time where you have to dig out the whole land, but today is a time with the technology, you make your environmental better. It's like olden time when you used to do heart surgery, it used to be blood bath. Today you can be microscopic, you can see the computer and you can repair it. Same thing with the Mother Earth you can do. And exploration is very, very important for our survival. Very important. Government has no business to be in a business. That's what my Prime Minister has said. And I have no doubt we have probably $200 billion market cap of our public sector government company. It can increase by 5 times. Production can increase. We cannot afford to retrench our people, but it has to be come out with the government hand, and it has to work with the make them corporation. What happened? This is another America. India is a land of opportunity, is a land of entrepreneur. So for me, this government looks great, because that they are very much on to startup. They want bringing the equality, and they're looking forward more and more younger people to be successful and entrepreneurs. So I have no doubt 2/3 of majority, and I think Mr. Modi is a tall leader today. I don't see anybody else in the world with the 1.4 billion people, he is the tallest leader, he is a stable leader, and I have no doubt he has no vested interest except to take forward this country.
Yeah, great. You touched briefly on actually what my next point was going to be, which is kind of looking at the environment. So Vedanta in its present form is a global natural resources conglomerate. And whilst you've made a lot of profit off of Vedanta, I guess some of the concerns that people might have is about what you think about the environmental impact of your company. Is it something that you've tried to look after, and what kind of sustainability efforts have you made in this area?
So this is the biggest thing on my heart, to make our world better. And for that, what is the kind of things that we are the ahead of everybody as far as renewable energy is concerned. We are ahead of our US. If you look at, we are so conscious, because in our Shastra it has been written 5,000 years back that we have to keep our environment clean and green. And with today's strong movement, for us, ESG, environment, our community, our safety is the highest priority, whether it's a clean water, to make sure our rivers are clean, not polluted, our whatever discharge we have. The technology has come whereby we can continuously keep producing with a better environment, with the sustainability. And it's not a one-day journey. It is ongoing journey. It is an ongoing journey, and consciousness is very important. And anybody comes in, we take a pledge that you will be the part of sustainability. And please do not shy away pointing out what better we can do to produce. Today, Vedanta, we are very proud. 25% what we produce is green metal, green oil, and very proud that we are making progress into it, and we will be ahead of everybody, and that's what we are looking for. And India has taken a position where we have declared, Mr. Modi has signed the pact, 2050 will be neutral on the sustainability. So I have no doubt, and we'll be ahead of everybody as far as the environment is concerned. And especially our women are really helping us. People ignore small things, but I've seen the small things, a consciousness help. And then if you see what we are doing of today's, everybody talk about mini, what is that, mini? Mini lipstick. What a beautiful, I read, I'm following a follower of Gandhi. You know, Gandhi at that time, if he is writing half page and in half page is blank, he will turn that half page and keep it on the side. I saved that. When he will wear the cloth what he need. When he came to meet long live our queen, to meet her, she says, because he was having one cloth which he was wearing, and says, that's all you have. And he says, madam, rest of the cloth you are wearing for us. So, I'm very pleased that the whole thing is turning where what our father, our Gandhi, Mohanlal Karamchand Gandhi, he has taught us. That time we used to laugh. He will only eat in his small bowl, not to waste things, and he will eat like with the passion, with the love, because very important that what he taught us is that the body is not everything. Body, mind and soul. Soul is very important. When he used to meet everybody, he used to meet like he is his own. that's our soul, our mind. Mind will take you anywhere, but make sure we remain positive mind. We remain. He is the only one who taught to the world with the non-violence you can win it. So I have no doubt on your ESG, all the modern terms, the vegan. I have always said the vegan is such an important factor, and the world has recognized. And today, earlier, I remember when we used to go to America and Western world, I used to be ashamed saying that I am a vegetarian, because people will not understand, they will make uncomfortable. Now when I say I'm a vegan, they look up to me. They look up to me. So I'm very pleased things are coming in our favor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also vegan, and I hope that's how people look up to me too.
I can see your smile and I can believe it.
So, like you said, environmental efforts are a step-by-step process, right? Things don't happen overnight, and it's something that you have to work on over a long period of time. I'd say, of course, you've made a lot of strides, but there have also been some challenges that you faced. So, for instance, Vedanta was accused of dumping a bunch of arsenic bearing slag near Tamil Nadu, or in 2018, when you tried to set up a second smelting complex. Off of this, there were a lot of protests that led to a few casualties as well. How do you think this impacted Vedanta as a whole? And sort of, did you approach environmentalism and sustainability different after these events? And how do you think Vedanta can recover its reputation from an environmental standpoint after these incidents?
So when you have determined to grow big or to do something impact on this world, the headwind comes. Nobody wants you to grow. When we used to go third class of a compartment in railway, people will not allow us to enter. No, there is no place, but you have to push and go inside. World does not want India to produce this metal. They want India to be a market. And we knew that this is coming in when we start producing copper, we start producing iron ore. This kind of challenges will come. But I can tell you one thing. I'm very conscious. We put up the world-class copper plant. We built world-class aluminum plant. We built everything world-class. I knew that because I am doing first time, and nobody believed that this can be produced in India. Somebody can be so courageous to start something like this. And you have to be fully aware and go with that and never stop your journey. So we keep moving. Today the whole world knows we are in the Dow Jones Sustainability, we are number 1 in India. Very pleased, 25% renewable energy is coming. We have no union by and large, 100,000 people. This can only happen when they believe that we are transparent, and we have a very nice song in Hindi. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना, छोड़ो बेकार की बातों को. So this is very important. People has to say something, and they will say. But the one thing I can tell you, the new industry which is coming up is all world class.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you're world class, I would say.
And I encourage all our youngsters, our unicorn, to be conscious that without producing metal, without producing basic, you cannot EV, you talk about renewable, anything you talk about only need metal, and it requires 5 times more metal. It is not going to fall from the sky. You have to produce. Mother Earth has given you everything. You have to do it in most sustainable manner to produce this, to develop your nation, to develop the humankind.
Yeah. You mentioned just now that you have memories of when you were a child sitting in the back of the train. Of course, you grew up in Bihar, which is not a very wealthy part of India. And now if you flash forward your life to present day, you're worth tens of billions. Would you define your story as a rags to riches story?
You know, Ritu is here. She does all CSR communication because Vedanta is going to be an institution which will be remembered for 500 years or more. It is not going to run by my family. It is going to run by the best people who take forward this company. Most of my wealth has given for the women and children. I am looking forward 80 million children around 5 years. They should be the best. Fearless is very important. They should have a sanskar, education, nutrition, meal. I'm looking forward to everything to work through the technology. I will never do anything which does not involve the technology. So my most of wealth has gone. Why I have been called billionaire, I don't understand. But if they want to say, they can say. But on the real terms, I am not a billionaire. But definitely it's a story which as you've said, whether you call it rag to rich, but whatever, it is a story which. But I think I'm just the beginning. I'm looking forward. I have lot of energy left, and I'm looking forward. How can I be helpful to the people? How can I change this world? How can I help this world? How can we make my country, India, to be a progressive nation, eradicate poverty, create job? So that is also one of the things comes to my mind. So this is definitely a story which I encourage all my youngsters that making money is not a sin. This is the wealth creation, and please always remain conscious that you are a trustee of your wealth. Only thing which you can keep with you what you need. When I met Dalai Lama, I'm a fan. My guru is Dalai Lama, and I really spent time with him in the Dharamshala. And I remember 3 things which he told me. One was when I was asking him, I have to learn something from you. I have to take something from you. And 3 things I remember, 3 or 4 things. I went with my friend of mine, Rishi Setia. One thing he told me first, that your body is your temple. As you worship in the temple, keep it clean, nice, because treat your body as a temple. Number 2, he says, very important that your profession, whatever profession you are, does not matter if you are a sweeper, do it with a passion. When you put your heart and soul into it, it gives you 10 times more pleasure. 10 times. So the passion is very important, whether you are a sweeper. So if I'm working in industry, make sure that you put your whole heart and soul into it. And number 3, which was very hard for me, but I'm trying to follow as much as possible. He told me, anything you keep beyond your need, you are a thief. So this is what I'm saying. Making money, please make money, but remain trusty. Remain trusty that you are a custodian of your wealth, and it should be used for the society.
Yeah. You said that youth and children and giving back to youth is very important to you, in both a philanthropy sense, but also in a general sense of inspiring youth to go into entrepreneurship and business. What message would you have for youth today, for young people who are looking to go into business, or now that you're very well established, what advice would you give to a young Anil who is just in Bombay starting out?
No, beautiful. I really wanted to give. I'm very simple, and I know that there are more intelligent people who can give the advice, but I can say what I practice. So for me, it's a very important that please join because entrepreneur is only can be 5%. 95% of the people, I encourage them to join the entrepreneur because they live in that environment. I'm not saying don't join multinational, they're also good, but they're very structured. It can take long time for them to what they want to be. But to join the entrepreneur, and for the entrepreneur is very, very important. Number one, please get away from your laziness. Laziness, get away from your laziness. Number two, remain fearless. Fearless will take you where you want to go. And number three, what will protect you in a difficult time? Your humbleness. So these things I talk about to the entrepreneur, and that's what I practice myself. Today is a time where half of the wealth is in the equity. There's so much of money around and they want to invest and reinvest. Please make sure that you choose a business which is equity oriented, because salary is one which is important, but if you, I always believe and always tell my people that my vision is my people who work for me, they must own a house, they must get their children educated. Also in India, marriage is also a big thing, and get the children married. For them, for these three things, they should not spend their salary. It should come through the equity. And they should go to a company, work with a company which is equity oriented. And I have no doubt the kind of valuation you get with the technology company, ESG company, multiple can be anything. And these companies have a stock option, they are a partner in this company, and that helps. So this is my message to entrepreneur. There is no substitute for the hard work. What the body is going to do? Work. Don't be lazy. Remain focused. You do the passion, what you have, 100%, and remain fearless. Have the humbleness, because that will protect you. And always dream big. It's not that I have only contract to dream big. You also have you can also dream big. It's all your state of mind. It does not mean that the people who does not want, that's fine. But somebody want to dream big, why not? And it can be like in your Oxford, when I see all the leaders you have given, politician, scientist, business is very very important, and there is no doubt business is very, very important. Economic development is very important, and unless you are a risk taker, take risk. Taking a calculated risk will take you forward, but never flout the law of the land. Is very important.
Yeah, good advice. A final thing I guess I wanted to ask is, you've lived an illustrious career. Vedanta globally has been well established. I guess, what would you want the one biggest part of your legacy to be? What do you think you'd want people to take away from you, your career, your story, your life, everything?
I really don't think. I'm pretty comfortable if nobody knows me. I've come, I've gone, I've done what I have to do, and I always believe what is in my hand, I'm going to do the best. What is not in my hand, why should I worry about? Somebody says there is a God, somebody says there is no God. Leave it there, because something is in mine, not mine hand. What legacy I want to leave, I don't know. But I really, I'm not very good to personalize glorifying myself. Today is also, when I got this invitation, for me was there that to place where you visit, In India, when you go to particular mosque or a temple, or you go to that river, you believe that your mission is complete, and you have that soil of that place make you difference. So that's how I came to Oxford also. So this is hopefully, I was born. I can't change my parents, no matter what happened. I can't change my brother. I can't change my roots. I come from India, and whatever I can do for my India, and I'm looking my India where a prosperity, what they have spread about the yoga, meditation, is a walk of the life everybody talk about, and that's what I'm looking at. How from my country, bureaucracy, which is everybody talk about in the world, and I'm looking forward where the government machinery must mobilize or go away, what I see in the Western world. So decision can be faster, the development can be faster. These are the things comes to my mind, and very important that everybody get a job. Women must get empowered, must get empowered, very, very important. So these are the things which I'm working on. Going forward, I'm going to focus more and more on 80 million children, and if I can bring through the technology, I'm looking forward how much food I can cook. But if I can develop some kind of bar or some kind of innovation, a capsule which is a tree which you plant, to my children, literally I'm going to adopt them, so they are not malnutrition, they are fearless. That will be my biggest achievement. Women, we have a most intelligent women in India, how they get exploited. 16, 17, they get married, they have 3 children. They are intelligent. Why we have, I've been asking this question to my software people, why we have to create such a bricks and mortar building? Why can't these women who are educated, in their home itself they develop the website or software can be electronically transferred, you develop the system, so they get job. They have a local talent, how can they develop that product? And the whole world is looking forward to support. Somebody has to lead. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm very excited. I'm excited about my business. I'm also equally excited about I'm not a government. I can't change the government, but definitely I can take certain mission, which is women, children, creating a university like this, maybe a different university, which is a digital university. I'm a design company master, God-gifted designing. Designing is in my I can design anything, visualize, dream, and put into the paper. I can't do the detail, that where I need a lot of help from the expert and the professional, but the fundamental design I can do. So this is what I'm going to do, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you so much, Chairman. This has been really, really insightful to hear from you personally. Can I invite the audience in thanking Mr. Anil Agarwal for his time this evening?